nothing's off the table. I feel about that, but nothing's off the table. Good.
So how we're going to start the video, we're going to make sure that you let everybody know. Yeah, I'm the one that taught you how to play basketball from the jump. I want you to give me my credit.
But you kind of did though. Like, and I got a story about that too. Like I don't even think you know the story. Like yeah. Like when I first moved out to Camden NJ, we used to sit like it was the course. That was back when we were by the on the other side where the wall ball court is now. Yeah. But they had that little parking lot that was still there. You know that little parking lot?
Yeah.
Like I don't know, by the baseball fields.
Yeah.
So my dad used to take us, we used to just sit in that park and just talk or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was always looking at y'all. It was you, Kareem, I can't remember the other boy name,
was it
the Afro, Tyson. Everybody that played at Wilson at that time.
Yeah.
I was just watching y'all. My dad like, you want to go over there and play? I was like, yeah, but they too big. I'm scared. They big. But then he's just like, baby, go over there and play. Y'all cook me, of course. But like, once I got out there, like, I kept going back to the course, and I moved out there, and then I kept seeing y'all, kept playing with y'all. It helped me get so much better, like, so fast. I was like 12, and I was like in high school at that time. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So you actually did help me out.
Good. Well, let's get into it. Now we got that part. All right. Welcome y'all to the Fat Cast. Today I have another amazing guest. You know, somebody that I have a long history with. We grew up together in the city of Camden and Camden Hill. Somebody that I've been watching, and he's been an inspiration to, you know, just a lot of people, and he was actually inspired me a lot as well too, which is why I love to bring him on today. This is Semaj Inge. Like I said, he was born and raised in Camden, New Jersey. He went to Woodrow Wilson High School, was a star athlete there, and he took his talents over to Temple University. For 4 years, had a great career there. Then he went and played pro for some time, and now he's back giving back all of that knowledge and all that information and all that great experience to the young hoopers who are up and coming with his AAU program, and he's also doing some personal basketball training with those guys too. So I just wanted to bring him on and highlight some of the amazing things that he's doing. So Semaj Inge, welcome to the show. All right. But before we get into everything else, you know, like we like to promote health and wellness here today. All right, so I just want to give us. Did you have your vegetables and fruits today?
Nah, not yet. Not yet.
All right. So what we're going to do is I have my grain drink here. Focus Intermittent Training has, you know, our products, you know, our daily greens product is called Smoothie Greens, where it literally gives you your daily dose of vitamins, your B12, all your fruits and vegetables, which has all the superfoods in it as well. And all you have to do is put a tablespoon of greens in it. I like to mix it with some apple juice, but I'm also going to actually structure with some structured water. This water is basically going to allow, you know, it to absorb better into our bodies, and it's going to recharge the water and put it back into its natural spring water state. So all you need is a dab to do it, just a dab. My guy DeAndre, you know what I'm talking about. All right, let's put that. You want to shake it up? Shake it up. We're going to get started. Shout out to Source Water for providing this water. Shake it. Nice and green, seems beautiful, right? Cheers, brother. So we're going to get into it. We're going to dig into your life, all your personal things that's going on.
That's good.
All right, the good, the bad, and the ugly of Semaj Inge. So, I know I just gave you a decent introduction, so just tell us more about, you know, Semaj Inge.
First, I just want to thank you for noticing me and you know, offering me this opportunity to get on your platform. We just talking a little bit off air about, you know, how we kind of met in the story that I never told you before. That you know, I seen you guys in high school, and we just moved out to Camden Hill, and I'm going to get in the court with y'all. So, you know, you've definitely been an inspiration to me since that time. You know, all the different things that you've done, the fitness, and the sports, and the mental side of the game. But me, I'm just from Camden, New Jersey. Kid that just wanted more for herself. Kid that didn't want to go down the same path that I've seen so many people go down and try to avoid those pitfalls as best as I could. Had some really good people around me that, you know, trying to kind of kept me out of that lifestyle. I had to learn, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, for me, life was just all about basketball from age 5 to 30, 33. It was just all about basketball. And once the ball kind of stopped bouncing, I had to, you know, reinvent myself. And it started with my mind. It started with, reading and learning about other people that stopped playing basketball and how they got into other ventures. And so that's where I'm at now, still learning, still giving back all the things that I've learned to these kids that's really wanting it. Like I said before off air, like I don't get a big thrill out of training the star players and the guys that got rise. I like working with the kids that been cut. I like working with the kids that sitting on the bench. Like, cause that for me is if you can get that kid that's been on the bench and go back to their high school team or their middle school team and their coach saying, yo, you got a lot better. That's rewarding to me. That's the most important part to me.
Okay. I know you just mentioned a little bit. You touched on, growing up in Camden, of course. There's a lot of traps that Seth was living growing up in that area. How did you avoid falling victim to your environment? What are some things that you clung to make sure that you didn't fall victim to a lot of traps that were set up for us?
At the time, I was the first person in my family to go to college. So I think my biggest thing that kept me away from that was that I always felt like I had something to lose. And it was more so like of course the basketball stuff and all that stuff, like walking around the city, people started to know who I was. So I couldn't do a lot of stuff anyway because people already knew who I was and I played basketball. But my biggest thing was that I just felt like I had so much to lose, and if I dropped the ball, then my little cousins coming up behind me would have been able to do it. My little brothers coming up behind me wouldn't have had a chance because I started a reputation for our family that I dropped the ball. So that was my biggest thing. Like I just had too much to lose to fall in those traps. And I think other people, they didn't because they just didn't they felt hopeless. You know what I mean? Like they just see people rapping, selling drugs, and that's what they thought that was their way out was going to be. But I never considered none of those options. You know what I mean? Like I knew I wanted to go to school. My mom and my dad was real big on getting into school. At the time, that was the thing to do to kind of push your life forward. But yeah, I just felt like I had a lot to lose, and I didn't want to lose it.
Okay, that's cool. And now, of course, getting to the level you got to, Division I, and you played overseas for some time. What role did being physically fit play in your success as a basketball player?
Well, if you remember, I used to be really skinny.
Yes.
Like I'm not the biggest guy now, but I used to be really, really skinny. And nobody in my family is really big. My dad was always skinny. My mom was always skinny. Like our family is just a naturally thin family. So I knew I had to work twice as hard as far as my fitness goes to be able to just get on the court and compete at that level. But still, nothing that I did all the way up through high school and college really helped because it was just so much basketball being played, so much stripping and losing other nutrients. And at that time, I didn't know about nutrients and meal plans, and I didn't have no idea. I just eating pizza, working out, burning it off. You know what I mean? I had no idea until after I got into overseas and towards like the end of my career when my body starts slowing down and I got to really think about what I'm putting in my body to get the best out of my body. So yeah, like all through high school and college, I had no idea what it really was. It wasn't until like once I got towards the end of my playing career that I started like taking my nutrition and all that stuff serious.
I think that's a great point you just made too, because I think even when I was in high school, there wasn't a lot of emphasis placed on making sure that you're putting the proper nutrients in your body. We didn't have a strength and conditioning coach to really map out meal plans for us. And just imagine if we did have that, how our performance would have been.
Right.
So any like high school coaches out there right now, like take heed to that and really like put that portion into your off-season plans and even during the season to make sure that your players are putting the proper fuel in their bodies because they'll perform better. I think that's major. Major point. And now with your youth that you work with now, how much emphasis do you put on them being in great shape? And are you talking to them about putting the proper fuel in their bodies?
Yes. Now, like my biggest thing is like I just had a 10-week summer strength and conditioning program, 10-week training program, and a part of that package we gave out our basketball strong strength and conditioning guide, nutrition guide. And the biggest thing behind that was there was a documentary on Netflix that I wish I would have watched when I was playing. It's called The Game Changers. You probably saw it. The Game Changers. It's all about being plant-based and all that stuff. So like that was the biggest part of the nutrition guide. Like if you can go all the way plant-based, do it. But for me, I couldn't do it. I just grew up on pizza and all that stuff. So I just tried to add more plants into my diet and decrease more of the fried foods and all that stuff. And man, I just seen a big difference just from doing that alone. So I just tell kids as much as you can, like eat something green every day. Green apple, vegetables, protein shake. Try to get something green and then try to just, add a little bit more over time. And then you look back, like, all right, now I got something going. But then you'll start feeling the difference. Like, I don't even want to go back to that because my body feels great. I'm recovering a lot faster. I'm able to build muscle and keep the muscle versus just losing everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And now, I know you briefly talked about going pro and things like that. You mentioned a little bit you had to switch lanes. At what point did you know that NBA wasn't not an option anymore? And how did you? That's a lot for a lot of athletes. Like you said, you played ball from ages 5 up to 33, seriously. So that's over 20 years, putting in work.
Yep.
And then to know now, like, all right, I'm not going to the NBA. For a lot of individuals, you probably read about that, a lot of individuals who realized they weren't going pro.
Yeah.
Some of them committed suicide.
Yeah.
What type of mental, impact did that have on you, and how did you move past that, knowing that you weren't going to go to the NBA?
So that's a really great question. I think it's something that's not spoken about enough as far as like when you don't hit that goal and what happens after that. You know what I mean? I think it, like you said, like some people, they just can't handle it and they just check out. Like for me, I realized that I think I was in my 3rd year overseas. And guys go overseas all the time and just end up coming back. Like they get a G League tryout or they get Summer League look and then they start getting and start building. So I was thinking that was going to happen. But I remember like it was yesterday. Like it was Christmas time, and over Christmas time they change out the imports a lot. So I ended up getting caught up in that and was going home. But I was fine with that because I was like, all right, this must be God telling me that it's time for me to get back into the States and start pushing to get back into the NBA. So back then it was called the D League, I believe, or G League, whatever.
It was the D League.
It was D League. So they had those big tryouts, national tryouts, and it was like one in Houston. So I went down there back and forth to work out with the Texas Legends, which is the Dallas Mavericks NBA G League team. So they kept flying me back out because they liked me. So I'm like, all right, got the draft coming up. I went down there 4 times. Like, they're going to pick me up for sure. So long story short, they ended up picking up this other guy that came to one of the workouts. He was good. Like, I'm not going to say he was decent. I thought I played better, but he was good. So at that point, I was like, man, I went down there all these times. I'm in my prime. I'm in the best shape of my life right now. If that didn't work out then it's probably not going to work out. So then I'm looking at, like, at the time, the Sixers was really bad. Shout out to the Sixers, they was bad at that time. And I'm like, I get on with them. Like, they're trash. They got Mike Carter Williams. Me and him got the same game. Like, Mike Carter Williams not cooking right now. But, it never panned out. You know what I mean? It just never ever happened. And I will say, like, I went into a dark place for a long time. I wasn't out no more. I was partying all the time, drinking all the time, like for a good amount of time. And then I had to just like sit down and be like, what exactly am I going to do with the rest of my life? What have I been doing up until this point to build up any skills? What value can I give to the world? You know what I mean? So up until that point, I was just a basketball player. Didn't know anything else about any skills. So just started doing my training thing, coaching the kids, all that good stuff. But then as I started doing that, you start just thinking like outside, like, what value am I actually giving? Like, of course, I'm valuable to that kid that wants to go play basketball at the next level. But what value can I start to give to the world? You know what I mean? So then I started thinking about my physical health. Everybody needs to get in shape. Start thinking about my mental health, right? Without that, the physical health doesn't even start to happen. So that's where I'm at now. You know what I mean? Just trying to figure out as many ways as possible to give value with my experiences that I've had. I've been literally at every level, from the bottom to the top, to get NBA looks, to sit in the bench in my first year in college. Like, so now I can give value to every single player that's trying to do something with basketball.
That's a great answer, man. That's wonderful. Beautiful. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about everyday hustle. What's up? Like, tell everybody what everyday hustle is.
Everyday Hustle is a project that I should have started 10 years ago. I know what I know now. It's an AAU program starting this fall. We have our inaugural season this fall. We actually started our practices last week. And we just want to do more than what the normal programs do. Just have practice and have tournaments. We want to show these guys it's through the name that it's an everyday process. You know what I mean? It's just not championships aren't just won. Champions aren't just like thrown out there. Everything is built. from the ground up. And what separates you is what are you doing every single day, Monday through Friday. Rest days are workouts. Right? If your goal is to rest that day, you can rest, you can watch film while you rest, you can eat right while you rest. Right? This is an everyday thing to try to, make that separation a little bit more, and you look back and you're like, all right, I was trash back then, but now I'm better. This guy was better than me, now I can compete with him. So that's kind of the idea behind Everyday Hustle. Get those kids that not necessarily get a chance to play for like the bigger programs and like make you into a player. So you come back to your middle school team, you come back to your high school team, the same thing, like my basketball training, like, yo, you got better. Once your coach is like, yo, you got a lot better than something. So.
And how do you get your children out of, your youth out of thinking that everybody's supposed to be a scorer? Because like, once you get to a certain level, you have to be able to adjust to a role. All right, everybody can't score 30, 40 points a game. And I think a lot of times kids coming up, they think that they just have to be a scorer in order to get on the court. But when I even talk to kids, I'm like, yo, there's certain players in the league that are literally just there to stop KD one time. At the end of the game, he's going to score 35 points. But if you're good enough to stop him on that last play of the game, they're going to look at you like you're a great defender. That's all it is. That's all you need to focus on. So how do you get your kids to start thinking about other roles on the court besides just being a top scorer?
So my thing is, like, I'll tell you a quick story about when I was in college. My freshman year, we had a decent year. It was Coach Cheney's last year. My sophomore year, we were terrible. We were absolutely terrible. And Chris Clark, shout out to Chris Clark, he's assistant coach now. He kind of made that point to us in the locker room after one game, like, everybody's just trying to score the ball. Everybody's trying to shoot shots. Everybody's looking each other off to get their shots and get theirs. But we're terrible. So you're looking people off. You're getting 20 at, and college is good, right? But nobody's seeing it. Nobody cares because we're losing. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the message that I give to my kids. Like, if we all score 10, 15, 8, but we're winning, and we get into that championship game, and you getting deep in the playoffs, you're playing. Now all those eyeballs is going on your team. Now everybody's looking good. Now everybody gets a chance to shine and do whatever they want to do. If you're just going to be that guy that's just trying to take all the shots and try to score all the points, then you're not going anywhere, right? You might get a look here and there, but you're not going to build a career off of that, because at the end of the day, you have to go to your next program, and that next program is going to want to win. So if what you're doing on the court is helping your team win, you got a chance. But if you're shooting 20 shots and getting 20 points and you're not winning, nobody gonna want you. Nobody cares about that. So that's kind of the thing I try to get them to understand. Like, winning cures all. Winning gets you where you want to go.
Okay. So what are stay on your on Everyday Hustle? What are the top 3 principles you want to instill into all your guys?
Top 3 principles. Number 1 is doing something every day. That's the name of the program. Is doing something every day, no matter how big, no how small. If you can get something done where you're doing 2 or 3 things in a day versus the other person that's doing 1 thing every day, you're going to create a gap between yourself and that other person. So doing something every single day, just being a good person, being a good teammate. You don't want to be, again, this is like, I tell the kids all the time, like, somebody has to watch you and give you an opportunity. So they're not going to give you an opportunity if you are a jerk, if you're not coachable, if you're not, you know what I mean? Like, just not comfortable to be around. Like, I was literally at a recruiting visit with one of my kids, and the coach was just like, I'll say his name, Makai. He coached him at a summer league, a summer camp. The assistant coach was coaching at a summer camp. He was just like, honestly, Makai, like, I just liked being around you. And I have to coach you in college, so I have to be around you every day. You know what I mean? Like, that's a part of it. Like, nobody wants to be around. And I'm thinking about it, like, damn, I was around my teammates every single day in college. Like, that matters. You know what I mean? Like, so being a good person, being a good teammate, and just being like, not being afraid to work. Like, it's no secret. There's no secret sauce. There's no magic pill. Like, you're gonna have to work, and that's pretty much it. Those 3 things right there: being a good person, being ready to work, and I can't remember the person. Let me go back. Edit that.
I looked at your website, and it said something about that you have a no parent coaching policy.
Yes.
Why did you implement that?
Just because it gets really sticky when parents are coaching their kids. For me personally, like, I have a 6-year-old son that does soccer now, And no, I don't know anything about soccer, but I really just enjoy going to the soccer games and enjoy sitting on the sidelines, not having a coach, and watching them play.
Yeah.
So I want that for our parents of our program to just have to come and sit and enjoy and watch your son play. You know what I mean? Like, so we just, it just gets weird when a kid is on the team with his dad coaching, and you know, you get the phone calls like, oh, he's giving favoritism to them.
Right.
There's no favoritism. We got all coaches that either I've trained to coach or they've played or trained somewhere else. You know what I mean? So y'all have a good feel for basketball. So that's basically it. Like, I don't want you guys coming to the game worrying about the coaches. Like, y'all just come and enjoy the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That actually led me to my next question about your coaches. All right. What went into your thought process when you were selecting coaches to be a part of your AAU program?
So it's my one coach has been with me as a trainer for about 2 years now, and he's trained with me, and he actually played for me when I coached AAU a long time ago, so he kind of already knew what I expected. Yeah. He's been with me as a trainer for a while now, so he knows how I like to run and how I like to operate. And he's a really good person. He would get his shirt off his back if he had to for the kids. So that's something I look for, like somebody that's really committed to the kids. You know, other coaches, I only have 2 coaches right now. There's another guy I used to coach with in Cherry Hill. And he's the same way. Gives that good energy to the kids. Give his shirt off his back. And this coach actually gives like the program a lot of energy. Like I said, being in the gym with him every day, it's good vibes. The kids like him, the kids enjoy him, and he knows the game a little bit. So, yeah.
All right. Now, when it's all said and done, right? What legacy are you trying to leave here? You don't have to be about basketball. It can be, what do you want people to remember Semaj Inge?
That's a great question. I want to be remembered as somebody that cared about, especially like the youth and the next generation that come up. Try to be somebody that try to touch people in a good way that everybody that come across my path, that's just like, you know, just a good person. You know what I mean? Cares about the community, cares about the kids, that's the next generation, because, you know, children are the future, and it's a lot of toxicity in the world, it's a lot of negativity in the world. So if I can just help inspire that next leader, that next generation of kids to kind of be, you know, a little bit better than we was, and get the world going into a better place.
Now, just fire it off.
That's fine.
Shooter, you know, shoot from, you know, close and shoot from everywhere. Right. Shoot. Now shoot from the corner.
Okay.
All right. Knock it down. All right. Now.
You ain't lying though. You ain't lying. You can shoot it for sure.
Now, who would you say had the biggest impact on your life? Getting you to stay on the right path. Who was probably your greatest mentor?
Oh, my mom. For sure. Yeah. For sure. I mean, it's kind of like the cliche answer, but like my biggest goal was just to keep a smile on her face. You know, her biggest thing for us when we was coming up was go to schools at the time. That was the best way to kind of get advanced in life. But that was it. Yeah, my mom. Like, that was our only goal, was to make mom proud. That was it. It still is to this day. It still is to this day. Like, mom for sure.
I think this is the next question. Of course, is a basketball question. Everybody should remember this. Every hooper should know this. Okay, who absolutely fried you? Okay, that made you feel like I need to get off the court at this point because whatever I'm doing defensively is not working. Who cooks you that bad?
Oh, I got a couple. So this was I never got to play against Monty, DJ's dad. But I played against him like after he was pro. So he was pro. He was trying to get back overseas. I was working out in the Warriors at the time. He used to come up there and play all the time. And it used to be wars, bro. Like, I'm talking about like almost going to fist fights. Like, it showed me the difference between everybody else around here and a professional. You know what I mean? Like, he could do it all. He was strong. He could shoot the crap out the ball. But it just made me better. Like, it made me so much better and so much tougher because he was a competitor. Like, he was really competitive. So I'll say, Wani here in business, and I don't know if a lot of people remember this, but I played against Kyle Lowry one time. And they used to have a college league in Philly at Temple actually. On Hank Gaddis Sun Hill College League. Kyle Lowry gave me like 40. 40, and it was just like a lot of times, you know, you guys helping, so team defense, like he came 40, and that's when he was like in Villanova. He was like really in shape. He's a little older now, but Kyle back then.
What was he doing to you? Like
everything.
Jump shots.
The problem was he was shooting it from deep. Like the second one, Wally was shooting from deep.
Right.
Kyle was shooting it from deep, and now I go extend all the way out there.
Now the whole floor is open.
Exactly.
Yes.
But outside of that, I played against a lot of NBA guys. Played against Lou Williams, played against James Harden, played them tough. Not saying that they're bad players, but I felt good against them. You know what I mean? Played against a lot of NBA guys, but those two, Kyle and Lonnie, that's about it.
All right, this is the final question, because I know you know the show is about, you know, people incorporating fitness in their lifestyle, you know how much it impacts your mental health. Can you give me 3 tips that you would give someone to improve their mental health? Something that you possibly did for yourself as well too.
Yeah, I would say, not just like your mental health, but just in life in general, is be more aware. Like it's a lot of things now that I look at and I just wasn't aware of. Like I would get upset about a lot of stuff, or I would get frustrated about a lot of stuff, and it's just because I just wasn't simply aware. And it's just aware of the problem, aware of the solutions, and if I don't know the solutions, aware that there's something out there, book, podcast, person that has been through that exact same thing, that I can figure out how to solve that problem. Right. That's number one. Me now, I try to get up every day, 5 o'clock in the morning, to go up and get to the gym. For me personally, like when I was 18, you could never get me up at that time. Because, and I just literally just was thinking about this, again, I'm talking about that awareness piece. At 18, I felt like I had all the free time in the world. So I could go to the gym, I could go to the gym at any time. Right. You know what I mean? But now that I'm running this AAU stuff, training, trying to get all this other stuff off the ground, I literally, like, I don't have enough time in the day. So if I don't get up in the morning to go do my workout, it's just not going to happen. Right. Phone's blowing up, social media is blowing up, I can't get to it. Right. You know what I mean? So I think getting up early, it just starts your day off. You know what I mean? Getting your blood pressure up, your brain thinking, you're starting to work on your body. And you're just able to get some time to yourself where you're not like answering calls, replying to people. Like morning, by texting you, calling. You know what I mean? So the awareness part, getting up early, and limiting the recreational reading, watching of TV, listening of music, and adding in podcasts, content that's like feeding your brain with good content constantly. So now, like, don't even listen to as much music as I listen to in the car. I'm on podcasts all day long, YouTube videos. They got a bunch now, like people just interviewing people that's been where I'm trying to get, like all that stuff now. So just limiting that. Not saying it's bad to watch Netflix and all that stuff. Like that's good when you got what you need to get done for that day done. But like getting more content of that helps you.
Okay. And I think I just want to touch on one thing you said about. I think people view problems as things that's supposed to bury them. But problems are literally there for you to get better. There are opportunities for you now to show your true strength, but they're also leading you to answers. All right. So when you have issues and you see something that's going to be really detrimental or challenging, that's just a huge opportunity now for you to solve a huge problem that's going to take you another step forward to whatever goal that you have in your life. You know, so it's all about perception. Instead of asking the question, "Why is this happening to me?" You should ask the question, "What is this teaching me?" Right. You know. Right. That's what I tell a lot of my people that I talk to about, just changing your perception on things that are occurring in your life. You know, it's all for you. It's not supposed to work against you, but it's all working for you to get yourself better and improve your character.
100%. That's the work. That's the awareness part. Like, that's that different mindset, and you've been working on it, and you're seeing a problem the same way every day for years. You get somebody like telling you, like, no, a problem is not trying to bury you. A problem is trying to take you to the next level, and it's like, oh, I never looked at it like that. Right. But you don't get that kind of awareness unless you're listening to people like you, or getting a training or a podcast or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, you're just gonna keep doing the same thing over and over again until you start putting something up in your ear.
You're going to keep thinking of that same exact test until you get it right. You can't move to the next level until you pass this test. Just like a video game.
Yep.
Mario Brothers, I died at the same goddamn spot
Yep.
about 25 times.
Yeah.
Until I finally figured out I gotta hit 80.
Until you do something different. Yeah.
Okay, now I got it.
Yep.
But you're gonna stay at that same level until you actually pass that test. You realize, you gotta improve your skills.
Yeah.
You know, improve your skills.
Yep.
Any final words?
No, that's it, man. Just appreciate you again for, noticing me and getting me on the platform to, share a message to the people. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I almost didn't invite you on because you beat us in the playoffs.
No, I want to apologize too. I had grabbed you under the basket, like I was a little frustrated. But nah,
Slow it down. You see that?
Right.
How did I see that?
Yeah, I did. I was frustrated. But I appreciate you, brother, for having me on, man. All the things that you're doing here. It's really, 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 really good, man. Proud of you, brother. Proud of you. Yeah, especially being from where we come from, and getting exposed to all this stuff that you got going on here. So proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Sure.
Thanks a lot, man, for coming on. Semaj Inge, y'all.
Yep.
All right, check him out. If you have any youth out there who are looking just to improve their basketball skills and just improve in life, you need to hit up Semaj Inge. All right, that's our show for today, y'all. Thanks for watching the Fatcast. We'll see you the next time.
Bang, bang, boom.